Good Thursday afternoon. Jerry Miller, welcome to the I Love Cville show. It's good to be with you. Thank you kindly for joining us. We're live in Charlottesville, the Commonwealth, the country, and the world on the I Love Cville network. Good show lined up. André Xavier, the co-founder of Cville Hop-On Tours, he and his business partner, John Craig, two great guys in our community, pivoting their mindset right now as their transportation business briefly on ice, thanks to COVID-19, and breweries and wineries closed across the Commonwealth and across Central Virginia. They're opening up a model that we've been talking about for a couple of weeks on this show that's going to cater to your delivery needs. I'm excited to welcome him to the show. We're going to welcome Lora Kelley to the program, a singer, songwriter, a musician, fabulous talent. She's going to play two songs and brighten your day, and it's a little rainy outside and it needs some brightening. So Lora Kelley, about 1:10 on the program. Again, I'm Jerry Miller. This is the I Love Cville show. We are an advertising agency, and we love to work with small business owners up and down the East Coast. A lot of our clients concentrated in the Commonwealth. Two of our favorites, Interstate Pest and Service Companies, a 4-generation strong family business, and Scott Wagner Chiropractic and Sports Medicine. Those two businesses really committed to doing good things in the community in this COVID-19 landscapes. Interstate Pest and Service Companies and Scott Wagner Chiropractic and Sports Medicine. Let's run headlines, Judah. Top story, my friend, and always give us the thumbs up. Judah Wickhauer's our director when the headline is on screen. First one I've been following all week. 30 million Americans now on the unemployment line. The new jobless claims hit 3.84 million Americans, now over 30 million out of work. The population of America, and I'm literally Googling this right now, it's like 390, or excuse me, I thought it was 390. The right answer is 328 million. So over 30 million Americans are on the unemployment line. The overall population of the country is 328 million. Roughly 10% have filed for unemployment. 10%. That number is not a true indicator of the job market because along with the 30 million plus folks on the unemployment line, we've had additional people, additional Americans, additional Virginians, additional Charlottesvillians furloughed or had their pay cut or found themselves undervalued or underemployed like they were not 90 days ago, 60 days ago, whatever the exact number is. So the 30 million is not a true indicator. It's probably, depending on what you read, 100. No one truly has that number. The silver lining, if there is a silver lining of 30 million plus Americans out of work, is the jobless claims this week. 3.84 million Americans is the lowest total it has been in a little while, the lowest level since March 21. That should tell you that some of this PPP money, some of this idle money, and some of the other money that's low-hanging fruit from like the CICs of the world, from like the Charlottesville Chamber of Commerce's of the world, from like the economic development offices in your communities of the world, some of that money is helping slightly band-aid the blood flow and kind of like slow the damage. So the lowest number since March 21. Claims hit a record high, remember, of 6.87 million on March 28th. Slight sliver of hope. Very difficult to find slivers of hope when 30 million Americans are out of work. And depending on who you ask, roughly 100 million Americans undervalued, underemployed. The next headline, local. Get it on screen first, the headline, and then the screen grab. Last night, Lloyd Snook, thanks to the city councilor, he says there's a new Thomas Jefferson Health District data dashboard. It's very dynamic. The headline and the website's on screen. Put the graphic on screen too. This dashboard gets updated by the Thomas Jefferson Health District, the district for Charlottesville and Central Virginia, daily at 10 a.m. Daily at 10 a.m. Good resource. Good resource. Get the resource far and wide. Get the resource far and wide. Okay? I'm going to dig into the numbers here. I first want to give some props to the Thomas Jefferson Health District for this phenomenal dashboard. Very dynamic metrics here. Very, very easy and approachable to read. Second, let's dig into the numbers, okay? It's frustrating to me that we're coming to this world where it's like this hard line in the sand. And in this hard line in the sand at the beach, you have folks keep social distancing, do not open the economy, keep doing what we're doing, focus on flattening the curve. And on the other side, we have to open the economy, we have to save the jobs. Everyone sees the divide that is happening. I'm not making it up. I'm going to just go by numbers here. And in Central Virginia, as of 10 a.m. this morning, there's been 293 cases, 59 hospitalizations, and 13 fatalities. Worth repeating, 10 a.m. this morning, this is Thursday, April 30th, 293 total cases, 59 hospitalizations, 13 fatalities. Of those 13 fatalities, they all have come in the age demographic of 50 years old and over, with 69%, which is roughly 8 or 9, of 80 years old and over. And quickly, people are going to jump on me. You can't marginalize 80 years and over. I'm not marginalizing 80 years and over. I'm just reading the metrics from the dashboard. An 80-year-old's life is the same value of a 20-year-old's life. I'm reading the metrics from the dashboard. The metrics also from the dashboard say that in Central Virginia, since they've started tracking the data, the risk to folks in lower age brackets, the younger you get is as we know, it's less. It's less. I'm going to ask you to digest the dashboard, and share it with your friends. And when the conversation comes up of whether or not we should reopen the economy or not, you should have, this is my suggestion. I take that back. I should not have said this. This gets me into trouble. This gets me in trouble at home and in relationships. I should not say you should have. A suggested mindset would be, look at these numbers when people say we shouldn't open the economy, and look at these numbers and say, look, Charlottesville in Central Virginia and Martinsville and Lynchburg in southwestern Virginia do not have the same situation as a Northern Virginia or a Hampton Roads. So maybe you roll it out in phases. Just a suggestion. Consider regions in phases and base it on numbers. Such a hot topic. Next headline is from the governor's office. The governor's office every day, a headline, as he should, as the office should. We follow this closely. We follow this closely on the I Love Cville show. Earlier in the week, we tell you the University of Virginia hospital system is losing $85 million a month. They go on record. Do you understand the vulnerability that the health system must have to say, I have to go on record? They send someone on record, a Mr. Kent on record, and say, we are losing $3 million a day and $85 million a month. Do you understand the sense of vulnerability that must be, where UVA Health System screwed that situation up, and why they should have contacted a firm like mine is, you know who they trotted out to make that announcement? A guy who was making $900,000 a year. Okay, so whoever said, let's roll out a dude to make the announcement that we're losing $85 million a month, when everybody who works at the freaking hospital, you can Google how much they make. And we're going to trot a guy out to make the announcement to Virginians and Charlottesvillians and the American public, and we're going to say, we're in a vulnerable state, we're losing $85 million a month, $3 million a day, and the dude they trot out's making $900K a year in bank. Smart move strategically from a PR and optics standpoint. Of course, that's not a smart move. All right, let's move on from that. UVA shows vulnerability with its health system and says we're hemorrhaging and bleeding money, and we're not sure we can survive in this situation. And then the very next day, the governor's office says elective surgeries can be allowed again. Wow. I'm going to take a step back and digest that. In a 24-hour period, the University of Virginia Health System says it's hemorrhaging $85 million a month, and within 24 hours, the governor's office says, I've stopped the ban on elective surgeries and they can be done again. UVA has got some swagger. If you don't think UVA's got some pull in the governor's office, look what just happened there. The headline, put the headline back on screen. Still the story from the Daily Progress. Daily Progress has been doing a good job here. Still the story from the DP is this announcement not potentially enough to keep furloughs from happening. So people are still going to feel the sting. And raises? Forget them raises, dog. Them raises ain't going to happen. Forget the raises. Next headline. Radford University announces a plan to reopen. This is an important story. And I'm going to follow it up with another prominent university that's opening in the Commonwealth. Radford University plans not only to reopen in the fall. Ladies and gentlemen, this is worth repeating. Radford University not only is reopening in the fall, and they've made this announcement, but Radford University is going to have in-person classes. Radford University is going to have in-person dining. Radford University is going to have in-person living on their campus. We're live on 12. Count them 12 different Facebook pages. Can you believe that? Radford University will reopen this fall with in-person classes on campus living for students, and on-campus dining. Next headline quickly. VCU yesterday, Virginia Commonwealth University, said it's committed to hold in-person classes in Richmond this fall. So 2 universities, not with the swag and brand equity and global brand equity that is the University of Virginia, and I'm going to catch grief for saying that, but I'm going to straight up say it. 2 universities that have prominence in Radford University and VCU. They don't have the swag and brand and global equity of a UVA, but 2 universities in close proximity to the University of Virginia, 125-mile radius? Radford and Charlottesville, is that close? Is that roughly? I mean, VCU is 60? Jim Ryan's feeling pressure, fellas. Jim Ryan is feeling pressure, ladies. Radford and VCU already on record saying we're going to have students on the fall. Jim Ryan is feeling some heat. And as the governor's office, as we saw with Georgia, as we witnessed with Tennessee, as we witnessed with South Carolina, as we witnessed with Florida, as we witnessed these states in the Southeast and these states in the Mid-Atlantic open their economies again, we're witnessing the invisible hand of capitalism pressure the governor of Virginia to pivot his model despite his medical pedigree. Ralph is a medicine guy, is a doctor. Despite his medical pedigree, he's pivoting his model because the invisible hand of capitalism pressuring him from his mission to do different things. UVA Hospital elective surgery. Universities committed to opening in the fall across Virginia. Ball's now back in Ralph's court. Let's see what he's going to do and what announcement comes out again. Another headline from PBS. I promised somebody on the I Love Cville network that was interacting with us on social media, and if you interact with us on social media, I love the discourse. There's a fabulous doctor that I'm interacting with that I think is watching right now, and Dr. Rachel Kukta. She's absolutely amazing, and if Dr. Rachel Kukta is watching this show, freaking love you. We've agreed to this. I've known her for 20 years. Since my first year at UVA. Were you third year, Rachel? I think. We've had a little back and forth on social, and it's gotten the popcorn ready. People have said they've enjoyed the back and forth, and she's freaking brilliant. She's brilliant. And her mindset is, and she is watching, her mindset is, let's play it safe. Let's slow it down. Let's pump the brakes. Let's listen to the docs. And it's a good mindset. And my wife has been drilling that home to me and says, Jerry, you always think that going 100 miles an hour is the right way to go. And you know what? It's worked well for you. But this time, maybe it's not the case. That's the perspective I got last night. I like the back and forth on social. We try to have this conversation. And then you guys can jump in and offer perspective. And she's offering phenomenal perspective. I want to invite you on the show. I think it would be good for the show. The PBS headline is where I was going. One of the folks I was having a back and forth with, it was not Rachel, it was somebody else. She said, please include this PBS headline. Do you have it on screen, Judah? You do? I'm getting a phone call from Ivan at Zocalo. Ivan, I'm doing a talk show. He's the owner of Zocalo. I'm doing a talk show. Someone tell Ivan that. PBS Says it's a fantasy to go back to normal in the next couple months. That might be so. But how will we know? How would we know if we don't try? Quickly, before we get to André Xavier, the Fridays after 5 in Richmond, they have a few of them, but one of them that's very prominent. It's been going on for 30 years. It's called Friday Cheers, thank you, at Browns Island. They announced yesterday that the free weekly outdoor Friday concert series called Friday Cheers in Richmond on Browns Island has been canceled for the first time in 30 years. When I read that, I immediately, obviously, thought of Charlottesville's Fridays After 5. Have we had an announcement on that? I mean, that is a Charlottesville staple. I mean, obviously, I think it's safe to say that could get canceled. Is it going to get canceled? Friday Cheers in Richmond now canceled for the first time in 30 years. Did we decide how we could do the His Image Barbershop video? Judah, can we play that? We can play that? All right, I want to play the first 90 seconds. André Xavier, we're going to get to you soon. Lora Kelley, we're going to get to you absolutely. This is a story. I'm going to show you how the local economy is impacting Charlottesville, Virginia now through two different stories. Two different stories of how COVID-19 is impacting the Charlottesville, Virginia family small business community. Okay, the first one is His Image Barbershop and William Jones and Yolanda Jones. They have arguably one of the best hairstylist barbershops in the Commonwealth, certainly one of the best in Charlottesville, an iconic spot where community and conversation and culture and BSing back and forth and family and helping those in need is the mission, the essence, the fabric of the business. That is what a stylist and a barbershop and this kind of model is all about. They haven't been able to work. They haven't been able to work, just like other folks, because the government said, we're going to shut you down. They haven't been able to work. I believe they're caring for 5 children. The government shut them down. They apply, like all of us, for the PPP loan, for the EIDL loans, and all the other opportunities out there. Got nothing, and now have to do a GoFundMe and ask the community for help. We're going to play a 90-second video from the couple, this power couple, this amazing couple, asking for help. It's a GoFundMe right now. I'm going to cue it up in about 10 seconds, so get ready to go. This is what I've been talking about. Not everyone can work from home from a wireless signal. Not everyone can social distance and earn an income. The government, federal, does not help all small business owners. It's not like there's money just floating around there for people. A couple that's committed to the community, that betters the community, that is literally leadership in our community, that's had a business for 12 years in His Image Barbershop, has done everything the right way, and now has to ask the community for help to the tune of $40,000 to survive. Open the economy. Help people in our community. Play the video, Judah. 3, 2, 1.
Hey, I'm Yolanda.
I'm Will. How y'all people doing?
Yes, and we are the co-owners of His Image Barbershop and Natural Hair Studio. Also Adorn Natural Hair and Beauty. They are essentially one and the same. We are sister businesses in that way. And we are making this particular video to ask for your help. We are one of many businesses, small businesses in the United States and all over the world who have been hugely impacted by COVID-19. We don't know if, making this video and launching this fundraiser is to say goodbye, or if it is to help us transition and forge ahead. We actually are very, transparent about the fact that we just don't know yet. What is of paramount importance to us is being healthy, remaining healthy, cultivating a healthy space for the people who work with and for us. And this space is an important one. And so we are pulling on you as our community members to just ask you to help us to make the transition.
Yeah, his image has been a huge part of Charlottesville's community for the last 12 years or more. And we think that it's very important that it stays a part of the Charlottesville community as we press.
Okay. So this is the world we live in. And everyone watching this program, I encourage you to go to this GoFundMe and support this family. Family of 5 in Charlottesville, running a business for 12 years. Literally, William has sat here with his family and his kids, and we've had his wonderful better half, Yolanda, on this program. The government said, shut down the economy. The government said you have to sit 6 feet apart. The government said you have to stay at home. The government said you can't go back to work. However, rent and mortgage still must be paid. 5 children still must be fed. A business still must go forward or not. And a power couple that's leadership in the community is now asking for help. COVID-19. Another COVID-19 story. Another COVID-19 story from yesterday's show. Judah, are you ready? Alex Erpe, Forward Adelante. It's a Latin publication that serves the Latino community in Charlottesville and Central Virginia. I'm going to tell you a story from the Latino community in Charlottesville and Central Virginia. Underserved community. Undervalued community in Charlottesville and Central Virginia. Doesn't have the resources of the white community in Charlottesville and Central Virginia. Doesn't have the capital market accessibility of the white community in Charlottesville and Central Virginia. This community is not getting the PPP. This community is not getting EIDL. This community is not getting the low-hanging fruit to keep their businesses alive. I'm going to tell you the story of a Latino community in Charlottesville and Central Virginia and how COVID-19 is impacting the Latino community in Charlottesville and Central Virginia from a generational standpoint, setting the Latino community in Charlottesville and Central Virginia back generations. Do you have that ready to go, Judah? Let's play it in 3. Let's play it in 2. Let's play it in 1.
Like, everyone here wants the same outcome, which is to minimize loss of life, right, and loss of standard of living. And we're all trying to figure out different ways to do that, and we're all impacted by our experiences. You know, someone who has lost a loved one to this virus, or who's in the medical community, is on the front lines, is probably going to say, well, given everything I've been through, we got to be really, really cautious in reopening. Someone like myself, who is seeing businesses, very small businesses that I care about, be destroyed and be at risk of losing generational wealth that they could pass on to their kids, is looking at it from a different perspective, saying there will be loss of life that will follow this if these businesses get wiped out entirely. So the balance is hard. I just think the important thing is to sort of be kind to one another and recognize where each of us are coming from, and not assume that the other person just cares about money or that they don't care about lives that are being affected by this. We're all trying to get to this together and come on the other side of this where we don't have a massive generational poverty issue because we've wiped out the wealth of Latino and minority business owners who couldn't access capital and therefore and already did not have housing residential wealth to pass on to their kids, and now we've wiped out their businesses also.
Oh my gosh, Judah, did you hear that? That was one of the, he's just giving me the thumbs up, the double thumbs up over here. That was one of the smartest things I have heard on this network in 2 years on this program. I agree 1,000% with what you literally just said right there. You just blew me away.
Like, everyone here wants the same outcome.
2 stories. 2 stories. More to come. More stories to come. More stories to come. Here on the I Love Cville show. Support the GoFundMe with the Jones family. Please do that now. More stories to come. I'm going to reach out to André Xavier via Skype now. Judah, are we ready for that? Okay, I'm going to get André Xavier in the mix. He's got a new business coming up that we've been talking about on this program. Before we get to his business, before we get to this man from a visionary standpoint, from a strategy standpoint, from a fatherhood standpoint, from a husband standpoint, let's just talk to him about where he's at. Andre, we have had the pleasure, you're live for Charlottesville. We've had the pleasure of chatting with you now a couple times on the program. You are an amazing person. What are your thoughts on so far the show so far? Any topic you want to cover?
Absolutely. Thank you, Jerry. This show, actually, it's being very deep, it's being real. We can see your passion. what really struck me as myself, as a minority myself, the whole thing that Alex is saying, how the generational wealth might be wiped out. And I truly know exactly what he's talking about. With under COVID-19, the businesses that took us 10 years to build truly is at brink of going under. A lot of businesses will go under. And the ones that do not,
We still got you here?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Okay.
PPP is something that it is that businesses are getting. So don't assume that's free money that businesses are getting. It is debt that we're acquiring. So it's important that the community support us in any possible way they can. And I think that brings us to Cville delivery. It's I don't like to call it business. I think I really took our time to understand what was the biggest need in our community and how can we utilize our assets to help or at least offer some relief momentarily to the restaurant scene. Because as you know, it is a very large industry in our community and it's being probably the hardest of all.
Like everyone here wants the same outcome,
a lot of families that rely on that job. So, Cville delivery on this call as a social project, as it is an experiment we're doing. We're not trying to compete with Grubhub or Uber Eats, all those guys. It's impossible to do so. We want to create a new concept, but our concept is community-based. We're relying 100% on Charlottesville community, neighborhoods, to order food from their local restaurants. And the cool thing that we're able to do is we came up with, a really smart way to monetize that, but is that we're not charging any fees to the restaurants. Anything that you order from the restaurant, they're keeping 100% of their profits. You as the consumer are being charged a 15% delivery fee. And people ask, why 15%? We have a cost. We have to cover those costs. So I can tell you right now, it's not a money maker for us. It was never the intention to make money. We want to just cover our costs and, we give hours to our own staff as well, our drivers. So the model is we're going to deliver to neighborhoods on specific days. We're going to have a rotation of local restaurants. We're not working with any chains, truly local restaurants. So the neighborhood can support that entity by ordering food as a group. So we're changing a little bit the model here on delivery. So hopefully it works out. At this point, we do not know if it will be successful, but we're very hopeful that it will. So that's where we are.
Well, here's why I think it's a smart move, is because you're not taking the cut from the restaurants. The restaurants, no. Because that model, the model that's currently in play, and everyone that's watching needs to hear this, the Grubhub, Postmates, DoorDash, Uber Eats model does not work for the restaurants. When you are doing a transaction for them through DoorDash, Uber Eats, any of the Grubhub, any of the third-party delivery, you literally are screwing the restaurant.
They're charging the restaurant 30%.
Yeah.
They're charging the consumer between 18 and 19%. So they're double dipping the charge. And one thing I just learned today, Jerry, talking to a local restaurants actually are increasing their prices on the platforms to make up the difference. So you as a consumer are paying 20, 30% more than you should because of that.
And still screwing the restaurants.
Absolutely, yeah, exactly. The restaurant's not making any more, so it's a very tough situation. Unfortunately, I don't have a solution to replace Grubhub. They'll still exist. But I think our solution is a local solution that we can truly support the restaurant.
Okay, let's see how it works. Okay, so Moe's Original Barbecue.
Right, so they're our first partner, right?
So they're the beta. They're the beta test.
They are the test. We're very grateful for Megan and Riley. They're awesome people, so we're very happy to work with them.
Okay. So tell us how it works.
So how it works. So Cascadia is the neighborhood I live in. So we're starting here. So next Wednesday, we're going to be delivering food at Cascadia. So today, I posted on the Cascadia Facebook page, on the neighborhood page, the steps. So step number 1, you're going to go to the restaurant website. There's a link there. Place your order. Step number 2, telling them how to place the order, walking through the website. But then 3, on Wednesday, the Hoffman bus will bring the orders to the clubhouse. We arrive there at 5:30 p.m. We'll be there until 6 p.m. You already prepaid your order. You show up. That was your name. Grab your order. The cool thing is right now we're able to deliver food and also alcoholic beverage.
Nice.
So good. Yeah, actually, it's Moe's is doing beer at the gas station price, so very affordable beer. so you can get 6-pack delivered to your order. So just kind of make it easy, and then supporting the restaurant. So that's the concept. So once a week, we're coming to Cascadia. We're expanding to different neighborhoods. So right now, we're in the process of signing up restaurants. We have a couple of people that already reach out to us. We're very thankful for that. So here, if you're a restaurant in Charlottesville, a local restaurant that needs help with delivering food, let us know. We can work out with you on our schedule. There'll be once or twice a week. We can get you on the rotation to different neighborhoods.
This is what I'm literally going to do right now. I'm going to tag Jay Pun, Hunter Smith, J.R. Hadley, Christian Kelly at Maya. I'm going to tag a hell of a lot of restaurant owners in this. I'm going to say, listen to Andre right now. Literally, I'm typing this as we're typing. Okay, so here's what I'm going to ask of you. And I literally just sent that text. You can go back and look at it. So why I chose Jay Pun, he owns Chim. And Jay Pun also is a co-owner of Thai Bistro, Thai Noodle behind Stonefield. And J.R. Hadley and Hunter Smith, they're the hospitality group behind the Champion brand, Champion Grill, Champion Truck, and the brewery. So them are in some ways, and I'm going to add Wilson Ritchie to this, in some ways they've been market leaders in that Jay Pun and Chim are literally, have you seen it? He's bringing the food to the neighborhoods.
Fridays, I believe. One of the days they come here to deliver. So yes, they are doing already.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to throw to you. The 15% is not coming from the restaurants. So you could pretty much go to Jay Pun at Chim and say, hey, we can help you do this. You don't have to do it yourself.
Absolutely. Because it's hard enough to run your own restaurant. So that's the challenge, right? So a lot of places don't have the resources or the staff or whatever. They don't have that ability to deliver on their own. So I think that is the solution. So the solution is, the only thing is we're not able to help them 7 days a week, right? So we're a once a week kind of thing for each restaurant, so we can serve, more restaurants on that. So we're not truly a solution, but I think we're an alternative to drive orders, because the goal is, if you concentrate your orders per neighborhood, you're looking at 20, 30, 40 orders.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. And I've been saying this on the show, that we should target, the restaurateurs should bring the food to the neighborhoods. They should target densely populated neighborhoods. And if they're able to do that, it's basically like they're turning the tables in their dining room like for a 50-person cover, and then have to go to a second turn with a different neighbor. That's basically what it is.
Exactly. You got it. That's exactly the concept we've been talking for a while. But I think most important is, this idea is to truly collaborate with the local business. I think Charlottesville as a destination, that's the only way we're going to support and survive local businesses throughout this crisis, right? The thing is, no one knows when we're going to come back to normal, but in the meantime, we have to do something.
Okay, let's do this. Hunter Smith just started watching. All right, I want to see this. You're an entrepreneur and a businessman. Hunter Smith, I think you guys have a relationship here that can work here. So Hunter Smith is the champion, the visionary behind the Champion brand. Andre and John Craig, the visionaries behind Cville Hop-On brand. Give Hunter, who's watching now, your 60-second elevator pitch on why your idea should execute for all of Champion.
Absolutely. Hey, Hunter. Absolutely. So Cville deliveries are new business ideas. So we're going to target neighborhoods. The reason why restaurants should work with us is, one, there's no cost, zero cost to you. Number two, we're doing pretty much the marketing. We are finding key partners in local neighborhoods who are going to champion, not pun intended, but champion the idea to their neighbors. So neighbors will place order together. We're going to deliver the order on your behalf. So truly is a no-brainer. I'm not telling you that don't keep doing delivery, keep doing your own delivery.
Wilson Ritchie now watching. Wilson Ritchie now watching, Andre.
Oh, hey, Wilson. Same to you. We want to work with local restaurants. We want to give, that additional $1,000 a night revenue. We want to really help you out, because, $1,000 order, if you can retain that 100%, that's good profit to you. The moment you're working through a third party, $1,000 order now became $700. So we want to really help you to maximize your revenue on the short time that we have, to survive this.
So basically the model is, you have I'm counting 16 restaurateurs watching. The model is the delivery fee is passed to the consumer and it's not absorbed by the restaurant. Immediately, the consumer who's watching is going to say, what? You're passing me the delivery fee? And then I'm going to respond and say, you're already paying the delivery fee anyway with Grubhub. Yeah, so all these guys are doing is taking the delivery fee, which you're paying to Grubhub, and they're trimming the profit margin that Grubhub is gouging the restaurants on. They're saying, instead of gouging our partners, we're going to just do a little bit, and we're going to pass the savings on to the restaurants for the hope that volume will sign up with us. How do you scale the business?
Well, as I said, it's not truly a business, Jerry. This is more a social movement, as I'm seeing. Scalability is limited. That's why we call Cville delivery, right? So we have no ambition to grow outside of Charlottesville. Truly, the goal is to support our local restaurants. We wanted them to continue in business for the long haul, right? So if they can add $2,000 or $3,000 additional revenue per week, that may help pay the mortgage, help me pay the rent. That's the goal. No one's going to be rich out of this business. It's not the idea. We're utilizing our own resources from Hop-On Tours to do that. So, the message again is to the local community to offer the support to local businesses. That's what we wanted to achieve.
Questions, comments coming in. This one from Kate Elwood. Kate Elwood, will Cville Delivery keep the food and beverages hot or cold, or do the restaurants need to come up with those logistics products to do so? Just thinking of the beer and keeping the food warm, traveling to the neighborhoods, I know most restaurants need better tools and delivery packaging to protect the quality of their food when it arrives to destination. Andre, your thoughts?
Absolutely. So right now with Moe's, that's exactly it. It's a learning process that we're all learning together. With Moe's, what we're doing is they are packaging the food on their little to-go containers. We're providing them with large coolers that can keep the food warm. And then there'll be another cooler with ice for cold drinks if they have drinks or whatever that might be. I think the idea is to partner up with the restaurants and streamline the type of foods that can be delivered. Because for us, it's also important that the quality of food has to be of good quality. Because the whole idea is people think, takeout doesn't have good food or it's subpar product. But we're going to change that idea. I think good food can be delivered. So we're still working to kind of perfect the system, right? Right now, I'll be honest with you, we don't have a perfect solution, but we're willing to learn and tools, whatever we can do to
Wilson Ritchie's watching. Wilson Ritchie's a great man. Owns the Whiskey Jar. He's got a stake in the Bebedero and a bunch of other businesses. He has this comment. Guys, I'm a little late to the interview. He joined when I tagged him, by the way. He goes, I'm a little late to the interview. Maybe you already discussed this. The only reason we would use Grubhub or a similar concept is the marketing they provide us. And Wilson, you're exactly right. So I'm going to offer a little background, and then Andre offers some background. Their model's completely different. With Grubhub, along with the marketing they provided you, Wilson, they also gouged you by taking a third, 20 to 30% of the check. And they also charged a delivery fee to the user as well. So they were double dipping, as Andre said. So Andre's model is this, and it's a local model. He says, we're not going to charge the restaurants a percentage of the check. We're going to charge 15% to the person that's putting the order in. The restaurants can keep all their money. And the 15% is similar to what they were already charging the consumer through the third-party platforms. So you're basically just creating more margin for the restaurant. And you're basically saying to the restaurant, don't do the delivery, we'll do it for you, and you're going to get more margin.
Correct. We're actually telling keep your margins, right? You don't have to pay us anything.
This is a no-brainer.
So, and also to the marketing point is, our marketing is a local marketing, right? So pretty much we're going to a neighborhood, we're finding a partner that's someone who lives in the neighborhood is going to tell all of their neighbors. So it's a completely different marketing approach, right? We would be insane to try to compete with Grubhub or whatever. We don't have the money that they have. So it's just not even that approach. So as I'm telling you, we're not replacing. We have no ambition to replace any of the third-party delivery. That's not the case at all. We want to help restaurants once or twice a week to have a night where they can keep all their profits through the delivery. That's all we're trying to do.
I love it. I think another business, and I'm going to add it to my list here, I think another business that is another category of business that's primed to boom in a COVID-19 landscape is kind of like personal concierge services, where somebody, and there's a lot of rich people in this community, someone is going to create a personal concierge business model where people can call you up and say, I need this in this amount of time, and you do it, and you charge a premium for that. That's going to happen. All right, before we go, I'm going to throw this to you. Toughest question I'm going to ask. It's a hard question.
All
Okay,
right, let's see.
this really is a hard question. You're the governor of Virginia. What do you do with the economy? And we'll close on that note. How do you handle it? What do you do?
So first thing, look at scientific data. As you share the report, pretty much the numbers are clear, right? So a lot of the younger population is not getting sick, not getting infected, or if they are, the mortality rate's low. I would be looking to have a pre-opening, say, sooner than what he's anticipating. I think business can start reopening with a lot of precautions. But I'll be honest with you, even if the government opened everything tomorrow, the true question is, will the public go and patronize crowded places? Will they go to restaurants? They're going to indoor dining rooms. Will they go to movie theaters? That's the question. I think the fear factor is the biggest driver here on people's decisions to go out or not. So it's to be seen. It's just, there's not an easy answer. And I'll hate to be on his shoes right now. Not a good place to be at all.
Agreed. Tough spot to be in. Lewis Combs says, your idea sounds like a win-win arrangement. Good luck with the concept. Camelin Leon says, do you deliver to Crozet? There's a market out there. And we just picked you up your second account, courtesy of the I Love Cville show. Johnny of Guadalajara, I think Guadalajara on JPA, he says we're in.
Mayo's coming. Yeah, we need to have a Mexican partner.
Johnny says we're in. Reach out to us now. Guadalajara is in. He's on the feed. Hey, you're awesome. Good luck with the concept.
Thank you. Absolutely appreciate the opportunity. And again, let's be kind to each other, help support each other. That's the only way we can get through, is to working together. That's the only way.
Well said. Good luck. Thank you. Thank you. Lora Kelley, we're coming to you shortly. A singer-songwriter. Lora Kelley's going to join us on the program. Laura, I'm giving you a heads up here, Laura. We're going to ask you the question of what you would do if you were the governor of Virginia. Lora Kelley, I'm giving you a heads up. Do you open the economy? I'm going to give you a heads up. Get ready for that answer. She's going to play 2 songs for us as well. Get the data back on screen. I love data. Get the data on screen, Judah. Can we just include the screen grab and then we'll reach out to Laura? Thomas Jefferson Health District data dashboard for Thursday, April 30th. Is it just the screen grab? Yeah, the graphic? Awesome. Guys, updated 10 a.m., 10 a.m., 10 a.m., 10 a.m. every single morning. Check the data. The data must be in the ecosystem and must be on the tips of our tongue and in conversation. It's not as Trip Stewart said, the veterinarian on the I Love Cville network somewhere, Trip Stewart made this comment. It's not a one-size-fits-all reopening for Virginia in any state. And he basically, Tripp said, is you open it up and you roll it out in phases and in regions. Central Virginia and southwestern Virginia, very different from northern Virginia. He also made an important caveat that's worth considering. Just because a region reopens and one does not, it will not prevent somebody from traveling from a closed region to an open region to enjoy the amenities of an open region. And that's a good point. That is worth considering. That's a good point worth considering. I'm going to reach out to Lora Kelley. Do I have your blessing to do that, Judah? We do? Okay. Lora Kelley is a singer-songwriter. She's a musician. She's a mom. She's a wife. She's an entrepreneur. She has 2 songs she's going to play today. She has valuable perspective. And I'm excited to welcome her on this program. J-Dubs, do we have her on the line? Do we have your pleasure to patch her in? Laura, you're live. How are you? I'm doing great. How are you?
Oops, hold on, I muted you. Give me just a second. I'm figuring this
Sure
out.
Thing.
Okay.
I like the room. Is that wallpaper back there?
This it's a curtain. I'm actually at my mom's house because she has Ting.
Okay, so she has fiber.
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna ask you the tough question, and you may have to turn me off over here because I think you got the speaker on, and we're getting a little reverb.
Oh, sorry. Is that better?
I think that's better. Yeah, that's better. So here's the question for you, Lora, and you're gonna play 2 fabulous songs for us.
I'm gonna try. Yeah.
Okay. What's life like? What's life with the Kellys? That's a reality show waiting to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, I don't know if I am writing a blog, so you can join us on that reality show via my blog, storyliving.org /blog. And I've been tracking every single day for the last 45 days since we have been in social isolation or quarantine or social distancing or whatever turn of phrase you'd like to use.
Sure.
So my husband is an event photographer, wedding and event photographer, and so obviously we are not documenting weddings right now.
You know, I think the world of your husband, photographer of the superstars, one of the best in the country here. Dude, I've been so impressed with the family resolve and how you've pivoted. Put that in perspective because it's absolutely freaking awesome.
Yeah, well, I think it became clear to us very quickly that we were not going to have any income this year at all if there are no weddings to be documented. And if it's unclear whether weddings will, if nothing is clear, nothing is certain. And so it makes people hesitant to book for next year as they ought to, as we all are sort of grappling with what's coming. Are we reopening the schools in the fall? I mean, you mentioned a couple of schools that are talking about reopening. And to some degree, I wonder if that's just to comfort.
Pomp and circumstance?
Well, that's not a kind way to put it. But, trying to just help us to feel hopeful that there is a place to go.
Oh, so do you think that's what it is?
I don't know. I'm trying to have a positive.
Me too. That's what I'm trying to.
I know it's hard. It's hard. It's really, I think we're all in a bind trying to figure out how to move through this. But I can't speak to other people's experience other than what they tell me. But I know for us, it's scary. It's scary to not have income. And so Eric made a cedar box for my mother. And then he posted it on social media, and then someone asked if they could buy one, and then he reposted it and had some people say, well, you should post it here or post it there, and he posted it to like 20 things, and then now we're making cedar boxes.
It's so awesome. I love it. Dude, I love it so much, Lora. I do. I love how you said the line, and now we're making cedar boxes.
We're making cedar boxes, and then we found a farm in Harrisonburg that sells herbs. And so we're selling herbs. We've sold 1,000 herbs.
That's amazing.
1,000 herbs off of our side porch. We keep the door open. It's all socially distanced. We're using Venmo to get paid. And sometimes I wave to people while I'm homeschooling my kids in my robe in my kitchen. And, there are good days and there are hard days. I think there's so much, in terms of mental health that we're all trying to consider, along with, what we can see in our bodies in terms of this virus, but also in the biochemistry of our brains and how this is impacting us mentally.
Amen.
Besides economically, which does have an impact on our mental health. So, I think we are coming to realize how interconnected everything is. It was known, but now it's really obvious.
Amen. You're crushing it. So you've been able to find 2 new songs here. You've been able to find some inspiration for some new songs.
Well, I wrote this one song feels a little bit, I'm going to play it, but it was written prior to this. And so I don't know how relevant it is in the current standing, but we'll just call it a playfully irrelevant song for the time. Okay. And then the second song I wanted to bring is one I did write during this time, and I wrote it probably, it's the days.
Right.
I feel like
I know.
I was like, I'm in COVID time now. I'm not actually in April.
Right. I feel like we've lived like 6 months in the last 55 days.
Yeah, I don't even know. I had a baby in December, and she's 4 months old today.
Wow, congratulations. Your third.
Yeah.
Your third?
Our third, yeah. And so, yeah, I'm like, how did you become 4 months old? I don't know how it feels faster and slower all at the same time.
I can totally relate. Let's. What's the first one?
So this song is called "Beautiful That Way," and maybe it's in response to aging, maybe it's in response to the sort of societal pressures that I felt prior to COVID-19 to be a particular way. Now I'm like, I got dressed for you. Thanks.
Laura, you're not aging. You're reverse aging.
Aging.
You're getting younger.
Yeah, thank you.
No, I seriously mean that.
I woke up this morning and I was like, thank God I have a reason to shave the hairs off my face. Going to see Jerry.
I'm glad I could offer that for
Like,
you. That's great. You are being so real today. I love it, Lora Kelley. All right, let's hear it, girl.
Hey, I'm socially awkward. I've been in quarantine for 45 days. I don't remember what it's like to talk to other people. So.
I know the feeling, girl. All right, the show is yours, lady. The show is yours.
All right, this song is called Beautiful That Way. I also have just to give a shout out, this is a really fun bracelet. It says, hell yes, this is how I remind myself to keep going.
Nice.
My jewelry, she's based in Charleston. She's a mom, just had a baby, so small business fan.
I like it.
All right, it's called Beautiful That Way. Is that coming through okay?
Beautifully. Yeah.
I could take a time machine back to 23. I got a lot more looks back then, free drinks given to me. I could watch that ticking clock, pining over glory days, but I don't want to be beautiful that way. I could read all of Cosmo magazine unabridged, tell you all of Victoria's Secrets, baby, purse and pout my lips, eat rabbit food 3 times a day so I can fit into her lingerie, but I don't want to be beautiful that way. My skin's too deep, don't need the eye of the beholder to tell me what he sees, and this barn don't meet what I got's not for you to say, and I don't want to be beautiful that way. I could be a wildflower on the wall, right into the cracks till you cannot see me at all. Use books to hide my face, they said my values in my brain, but I don't want to be beautiful that way. My skin's too deep, don't need the eye of the beholder to tell me what he sees, or to be smart to compensate what I got's not for you to say, and I don't want to be beautiful that way. I don't want to be beautiful that way. I could be whatever the hell it is you want. Ooh, it's not so hard to figure out how to be something you're not, but at the end of the day I want to recognize my face. I don't want to be beautiful that way. Skin's too deep, don't need the eye of a beholder, and this barn don't need no paint or to be smart to compensate. I'm not for you to decorate. I've earned these lines across my face, and I don't want to be beautiful your way. I don't want to be beautiful that way.
Oh, Laura, so lucky. So good. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. You're getting props from people. Grace says, an absolutely beautiful song on a rainy day. Thank you for today's show, and thank you for bringing us hope, Jerry. We certainly very much appreciate it. How about the thought of hope? What do you think of that topic? Finding hope.
Oh, hope. Hope is the thing with wings. Isn't that what they say? Hope springs eternal. There's all kinds of things. I think, hope deferred makes you sick.
How are you finding hope? Hope's important to people like hope's important to everybody.
Hope is important to everybody. I think this is so unprecedented that I feel constantly the temptation to look to the past to try and come up with some kind of solution for how the future is going to move forward. And I think it's hard to anticipate. And so, I mean, one of the conversations I've been having a lot with Eric is, what do we do with this present moment? And while holding, if there's this sense that there's a future and there's this past, and now we're in this weird in-between time.
Yeah, like purgatory.
Yes, and I feel constantly like I'm holding two wires together and I'm this energy conduit between like the past and the present.
Oh.
And so trying to hold on to where we are and not make the most of it, I feel like there's a lot of pressure to that. I mean, if you feel like making the most of it, go for it. Don't let me keep you from making the most of it.
Sure.
But also the sense of permission to, I don't know, take it little by little as we try to explore what's coming. Because I just don't think we know. I mean, we don't know.
Do you find yourself saying this when things get back to how they were, when things get back to normal? And then I was saying that a lot more, and now I'm like, you know what? It's going to be a new normal. It's not going to get back to normal. How about that one for you?
Yeah, I think it is going to be a new normal. And I think, too, as this kicked up, a lot of people were talking about things they didn't enjoy prior to this. And so it's just not to reframe it and to be like, this is good, because it's not. That is definitely not what I'm saying at all. But I do think it is creating a space to be curious.
Yes.
For ourselves about what we did like about the life we were leading and what this time has to offer us and what maybe we can blend together as we move forward, even as we tend all the losses that this is creating for us.
Dude, that was awesome. That was awesome. Lora Kelley getting deep and poignant. All right, lady. All right.
Like you said, Jerry, I've been in quarantine for 45 days.
That was so good, dude. Don't apologize. That was baller. All right, let's take us out. Take us home, girl. Take us home with the song. We're going to close the show down on this. It's been a hell of a show, and it's going to close even better.
All right. So this I wrote for us. For the world. I thought a lot about Charlottesville as I was writing this, all of the things that I enjoy.
Okay.
And so maybe you'll find some of the pieces of yourself in this. And this song is called, speaking of hope, the song is called In Time.
In Time, all right.
I won't forget those swing sets tied in knots, caution tape wrapped around the playgrounds like a present that we lost. Soccer fields overgrown, shuttered schools standing alone, etched into the corners of my mind. But in time, oh man, it makes me feel.
Me too. It's getting me too. That's why I'm trying not to look at you, because I'm getting choked up, and I'm like, if I look at her, I might get choked up, and she might. Okay, all right. I'm not going to look at you. I'm feeling it too.
Okay, sorry. Can I start over? Can I start from the
You
beginning?
can start anywhere you want, girl.
Okay, I'm sorry. I had to gather myself.
Yeah, and you know what? If you get it, bring the tears.
Okay. Oh. Okay, I got this. Woo! Got me shaking. I won't forget those swing sets tied in knots, caution tape wrapped around the playground like a present that we lost. Soccer fields overgrown, shuttered schools standing alone, etched into the corners of my mind. But in time, we'll hear the children's laughter, a welcome cacophony. The park benches will find us leaning in and lingering. We'll roll out the picnic blankets, pour the summer wine in time. Oh, how I miss the feel of your arms around my waist, drawing me in, the sight of your smile as it stretches across your face. Candlelight conversations, not a moment with you is wasted, trading stories deep into the night. Again in time, our hands will feel the welcoming warmth of a friend. A farewell kiss will leave off only to begin again. We'll crowd the empty tables, pour the summer wine in time. And I hope the empty church pew saves me a seat. The faith that I've been clinging to is waiting, waiting, waiting. For in time the doors will open to the breaking of the bread. We'll pass the peace with gentle hearts and lift our weary heads. You're welcome at my table. I'll see you when we're able. Oh, in time the children's laughter, a welcome cacophony. The park benches will find us leaning in and lingering. We'll roll out the picnic blankets, pour the summer wine in time. I'll see you face to face again, my friends, in time.
So good. Oh man, I'm going to tell you right now, I still don't think I can look at you right now because I literally have tears in my eyes. So I'm not going to look at you here on Skype. That song was amazing. I mean,
Thanks, Jerry.
I mean it. I hope everything that happens in that song comes true soon. I really like the fill the empty seats, pour the wine, and I like your use of the word cacophony. It was awesome. You made us better today.
Thank you, Jerry. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, anytime. I mean that. You have a good time.
Thanks. You too.
Oh, man. Amazing. God. I'm literally like, all right. Get myself together here. Me too, Camelin. She said, Camelin said on the stream, I love the part about the church pews. Me too. It was beautiful, Dr. Downey. All right, let's get out of here before you make a mess of yourself. I'm Jerry Miller. It's the I Love Cville show. Monday through Friday, 12:30 to 1:30. Just trying to bring you hope, man. Just trying to bring you hope. That's all we're trying to do. Take care.